I'm pretty excited because I've seen some videos claiming that this is quad of the year or the perfect bind and fly. Well, I'm excited because that's exactly what we're going to find out. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, what we're going to be checking out is this bad boy right here. This is the Iflight DC3. I'm going to link it down below, and what it is, think DJI, but in a bind and fly that also is in a 3-inch. In the past, we've looked at like the Titan. You can go watch, a little link should pop up there. A lot of the DJI systems are in big 5 inches, and it's kind of the dream for me to get these things smaller and smaller and smaller because everybody likes the HD footage that comes from DJI. There's no denying that, but the quads you can be severely limited into what it actually fits because it's a bit chunkier than our current analog systems. Well, this is the first real bind and fly out there where you can put it into a 3-inch, rip it around and go have some fun, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's do it. Let's put it on the bench, break it down, look at the text and the specs, and then we're going to out of the field, rip it around, show you some HD footage as well because it's got the onboard recorder, and see just what you can get nowadays with the little 3-inch and how much fun is it. Is it going to live up to the hype? Is it quad of the year? All that sort of stuff. You know, is people saying it's the best bind and fly, or is it just got some limitations, or is it just a lot of fun? So let's do it, sticking it on the scales as a bit of an overview. Hopefully this is going to be in the roof cam. Tear this off. Perfect, there we go, and it's coming in at 177 grams there. And I should say too, I've been out flying this thing around a little bit. I've changed the XT60 plug that came with mine. I've also swapped the air unit because I was doing a few little bits of testing, but anyway, it's pretty much stock standard as far as it comes anyway. But what it is, overview, bind and fly, out of the box, 3-inch with DJI in here, and just, it's dead cat style, so you don't see any of the props flying around. And it is made first and foremost just for exploring, having fun. It doesn't have prop guards, so it's different to the one that has the big ducks, the Mega B or whatever it's called. Yeah, if you just want a little 3-inch, well, this one might be up your alley. It comes in a bunch of different versions. This one actually had to do a little bit of a mod so it would work with my DJI remote, because as it stands, you know, it came ready to go for FreeSky, but not for the DJI radio, which is a little bit weird. So hopefully they update all that on the product description, but I'll explain that when we get into it, talking about the pros and the cons, all that sort of stuff. So component wise, we've had a look at the overview components. Starting the outside in, you just got some little tri-blade props on the outside. It's got a unibody frame, which is look fairly robust. I don't think you're going to be breaking this frame too much, but also I wouldn't be flying it into concrete or anything like that, even though we kind of might be flying around some concrete in this video. It has the DJI system, of course, for the FPV system. That's been talked about enough. It's pretty awesome flying around with the range you can get, also the quality of the video and the confidence that I get when flying it. I don't feel like I'm getting any fail safes, anything like that. We've got our little 40 amp ESC in the middle, Betaflight, you know, OSD, all that sort of stuff. It's a relatively straightforward, simple quad. You know, the components in here, it just works. The flight footage, actually, it's fairly stable in the air as well. So look, the components, everything going in here is just, what can I say, just normal iFlight stuff. It just works, it's reliable, and yeah, thumbs up to them. Moving on, talking about the design of the thing, and this is some of the things I do like, and we'll talk about this in the little extras as well. You get a lot of little extra pieces to put on here, like you've got your TPU mounts to hold your antennas, 2 little antenna holders in here as well for your FreeSky antennas, but of course I took those things out. The current stage with this type of air unit is pretty tricky to try and cram them into these little frames. So this is about as compact as you're going to get at the current standings with the DJI Air system. So I don't know, if you want a smaller quad, there's no real other options out there at the moment for ones this small in the bind and fly range, but maybe that might change in the future. I've also changed my Velcro strap, which I have right up here at the front, and then flipping it up underneath, you can see we've got our 20 by 20 mounting holes. We don't have any camera protection, which, look, there's a tiny bit, but I still think iFlight needs to be fixing that because that's going to be the first thing that crashes into the ground. So I wish there's a little bit more camera protection in the design scheme, but yeah, other than that, it's just a dead cat style quad that seems to fly around pretty well. Talking about the quality of the thing, and look, iFlight has been absolutely smashing it lately. They are just making so many good quads, from the Nazguls, Sedoras, the Titans, the DC5, DC3s now. They definitely have stepped up their game when it comes to the products that they're making. So I'm going to give that about a maybe an 8, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10, because I've had absolutely no problems with any of the iFlights I've been flying for a bit of for most of the, I guess, the second half of this year. They've been crushing it. And then let's talk about the pros and the cons before we go out of the field, rip it around, show some footage, what the other boys think as well. Pros, things I like. I like that you can actually get a small 3-inch now that's carrying DJI. That's probably the big plus for a lot of people. Dead cat style, you don't see anything in the props. It's got a lot of TPU mounts. It's well compact. I guess I should say it's well thought out and spaced, the way they've crammed everything everything in here. You've got a unibody frame, and I really like the motors as well. Those Zing motors, 1404s, 4600 kV. It just, yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a rocket in the air too. It's very stable in its flight characteristics. Things that I don't like, well, this one, of course, it's got the DJI Air unit in here, so it's going to be more expensive than some of the others out there if you just look at a normal analog one. So you've got that. Oh, and I should say too, you get the HD digital and you get the long range, all that sort of stuff that comes with that. That's another good plus, another reason people like this. But yeah, things that I don't like, well, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I'm not the biggest fan of the camera protection because I feel like that's just kind of asking to get, if you smash into a rock, you're asking to break right there. I found it a little bit annoying trying to put my Velcro straps and everything through here, and also if you want to hook this up to your DJI system, you're going to need to get an extra cable because it currently sends the signal and all that sort of stuff. It's just got the air unit hooked up ready for FreeSky, and they say, oh, if you want to use it for your controller, update Betaflight, all that sort of stuff with your normal DJI remote, but you're going to need the actual plug. So I wish for this one, maybe it'll change. Mine didn't ship with a straight out plug with all the pin outs on the back. It just came out with a normal one. So luckily I had a spare. I could simply slot that into the back of the air unit and solder it up. So that's something to be mindful of as well. But if you're just using FreeSky or a normal receiver, you're not gonna have to worry about that sort of part. And that's kind of it. It's just a little 3-inch on the bench with some DJI inside. What we should do now, let's go out to the field, rip it around, see what the other boys think, show you some footage, or just have some fun and find out if you've got DJI, you've got a lot of 5 inches out there, is this something to be considered? So let's do it in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go at the Field of Dreams. I love flying around this place. My mate's flying around a 5-inch. We're on board, and this is the DVR footage we're getting back in the goggles. So this is exactly what you're going to be seeing when you're flying around. Let's do it. The little DJI 3-inch, and let me tell you, it is an absolute blast. You can see the camera. We don't need to talk about too much because the DJI clarity, it's just, there's a reason people keep talking about it, and it really does offer something unique and special. You can't really compare this to analog when it comes to level of detail and the confidence that you get with this as well. So when I'm flying around, the places that I can go exploring with this, and you'll see this later in the video, like we fly out over some, I think we find some concrete pipes or something to fly through, and there's no way I would even attempt to do that in the analog. But I'd love to know, let me know, what do you guys think? Where's the riskiest place you've been flying? But let's talk about how the quad actually handles. So you can see right here starting to do a little bit of acro, and I'm going to say it's not quite as fast as some of the little other 3-inches you've got out there because it is a slightly larger frame. It's hauling around a little bit more. But that definitely doesn't mean that it can't rip. So you can see right here, it's still screaming around, covering plenty of ground, and it feels great in the air too. And what I like showing about the DVR feature on back, you can see, is there any oscillations or any of that sort of stuff? And you can see right here when you're watching it, there is, I would say, very minimal amounts of movement. It's very, very smooth, very easy to fly as well. So right now we're flying down here, doing a bit of cruising, and this is where I kind of spotted those pipes, and you can see my brain go, oh, hang on a minute, I wonder what will happen if we go through here. Now, the DVR doesn't show it, but when I watched it on my video, when it was live, it actually froze for, I would say, maybe a 1/10 of a second, and then the image came back. So it was still more than enough to fly through. I don't know if I'd be doing that again, but, you know, look, I was still pretty impressed that I was able to get through there. I did freak out a little bit. And, yeah, overall, look, it's just a fun little ripper if you want to go around, have some fun with a 3-inch style. It's great for even big places, small places. This was some great chase footage. Actually, I was really enjoying flying around. Of course, you get the DJI in the air, and look, overall, I think some people, this is going to be great, and other people might be more interested with a 5-inch counterpart. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. We're about to hand it over to Wingman Jono. Go out and fly it around the in-laws, see what he thinks as well. This is going to be his second ever time flying around with the DJI Digital. But yeah, this one, it definitely has a market. Iflight's been absolutely killing it, and it's got a lot of pros coming to it. And I think right here I wanted to see if I could see through the fence, and you can see the wire, but I just I wasn't feeling confident because it's not quite that small. It's not whoop small that you could fly through that. But anyway, what we should do, let's hand it over to Wingman Jono and see what he thinks about the Iflight DC3.
Radio Jono, so this is going to be your second ever DJI flight, so we can talk a little bit about that, but this is like a 3-inch DJI from Iflight, the DC3.
Yep.
So first thoughts?
First thoughts. I
do wish, I should say too, I changed the Velcro strap. I wish I could get it in the middle a bit more, but look, I haven't done that. And blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
a bit at the front.
Yeah, very, very crammed in there, but overall it doesn't feel like super heavy and stuff like that, so that's a bonus. I was worried that with the DJI unit in there it was going to be on the heavier side for a 3-inch, but that feels okay. Not much prop clearance with the DJI unit in there, but it doesn't feel like it's going to move, so that's okay.
I put a few packs through it too, so it's a bit dirty.
Yeah.
And I also cut this off and put an XT60 on the end.
Yeah.
XT30.
Yeah. Overall, like I've been liking the iFlight stuff, like the Mega B and stuff that we're using, the Cinewhoop style one. That was pretty cool to fly around and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Dead cat style, so there's no props in view again, so you're just ripping the HD footage straight onto the air unit, so that's real cool. Don't have to GoPro it. Yeah.
But to be honest, I kind of phased out a little bit because my phone was ringing. I looked at it. Let's go rip this and see how you like it. You ready?
Yeah, let's just fly it.
Rightio, Jono. I'm just going to have some Coke while you, Coca-Cola, while you buzz around.
Just smash a line of Coke and rip hard packs, bro.
There we go, demonetized. But I can't watch along because look, it's DJI, so my analog can't. You're gonna have to let me know how it's going.
Yeah. Did you want like the DVR or anything?
It'll all start.
Yeah.
It's all automatic.
Oh, it's all automatic.
Yeah, it's good.
Fancy. All right. Is that going?
No, you haven't armed.
That's okay. Yeah, I see what's going on. Alrighty, in action. Okay, just getting my initial cruise around just to see how it is for cruising.
And I got to say, you don't have to worry about range or anything like that, man. So, you know, fail safes or dropouts, just go wherever you want to do whatever you got to do.
All right. Okay, so straight up, felt a little tiny bit of a jitter on takeoff, but nothing like terrible or anything. It's got some good gas to it. I wouldn't say it's like a full-on monster like one of the 349s or something.
Yes, I would absolutely agree there. It's a little bit heavier, isn't it? It's a little bit wider than some of the other things out there. Oh, the fly's bugging you?
Yeah, it's all good. We'll get through it. It was just one was trying to get right down my ear canal. It's like, hey, what's in here?
Focus on the DC3.
So yeah, it feels like it's got enough punch. Just to have a bit of fun and stuff like that, but nothing outrageously crazy or hard to control. It feels very controllable. Little tiny bit of a jitter I'm feeling, but it might be a bit of a wind or something like that. You haven't bent up the props in your last flight or anything?
A little bit, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. It's not anything like significant. It's just yeah.
What do you think about DJI in this tiny little form factor?
Yeah, no, once you start going into this the nice footage and stuff like that in there, it's like really gives you potential for particularly a smaller one like this, like scouting around in a few different locations and stuff like that, so you can scout in areas a bit more precarious where you probably wouldn't want to stick a 5-inch. Other than that, yeah, very controllable on the flight, no props in view again, so it feels really like cinematic flying around. Yeah, I feel like I can fly it a little bit quick, or I could slow it down and just cruise in between all the trees and stuff like that. Obviously having that nice DJI footage in there, I can actually see tree branches coming. As you saw before when flying one of the other ones, I kept clipping trees everywhere because I was trying to go too hard. But
well, the ghost branches really they're not ghosts anymore.
Yeah, yeah, no more ghost branches, which is really cool. Yeah, it makes it a little bit more fun to get into those really hairy situations, which is, like I was saying, you can get around and scout with this a bit better.
How's the battery voltage?
Down to 13.5, I think, 13.4. Okay. Yeah, so it's sucking a little bit of juice.
Remember this?
Yeah, that battery's just about toast, so I'm going to bring it in. But yeah, fun to fly. A bit too hungry.
I'm going to stand behind you because you're going to crash into me. Jesus!
Sorry.
Did you mean that?
No, I was aiming for your Coke.
Oh, that's full. You would have slit the bottom. The Coke would have been spewing out. All right. Let me disarm this.
Yeah. Hands are off. Disarm it before I kill someone.
Okay.
I was not aiming for you. You said come in close.
No. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It was fun to cruise around.
These flies, can I just say, are absolutely ridiculous.
Bonkers. Yeah, they are. They are absolutely bonkers.
Okay, yeah, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Hey, it was fun to fly around. A little bit hungry on the battery life. Like anything small form factor with the DJI Air unit is it's going to be fun for cruising through like little tight spots, lots of dense trees like we were just doing. In terms of like comparative to other sort of ones, I feel like I'm not going to say that it's the best, it's not the worst. I'd probably say like I'd give it a solid like 6 or a 7-ish. I would. Yeah. Flies nice. There's nothing particularly bad about it other than the battery usage.
Are you going to go out and buy one, or would you buy a bigger one first?
No. I'd probably prefer like a bigger one for cruising around and stuff like that. not quite in the spot where I feel like I need to have it yet. Overall, it's fun, it's nice, but I don't feel like it's an absolutely essential must-have.
Sorry, that was just Cal saying, leaving me a voicemail that he can't turn up today.
Oh.
You're a slacker, Cal. What's going on? Trevor was meant to be here too. God, Jono had a flat tire, but he turned up. Anyway.
Yeah, I've had a hell of a morning and I still made it here.
So
Come on, guys.
I forgot. I kind of stopped listening to where you're up to. Sorry, I was on the phone.
Yeah.
Jono's filming behind the. Jono's being filmed. I'm just talking like this on the camera, listening to stuff. So
yeah.
So Jono, I forgot what you're up to.
So
was it good? You liked it or not liked it?
Yeah. I liked it. Like I said, I give it about a 6 or a 7. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It flies nice. But it's not like a thrill or super exciting or anything like that.
Okay.
You can find probably.
So why are you going to buy this one? What makes this one special? Who's going to buy this?
Okay.
What's the draw card of getting this over the DC5 or the Titan 5-inch or whatever, or a Bengod or whatever? What's the deal about this one?
Really specifically for this one, I'd say probably cruising in areas with tight spaces, thick foliage, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Thanks, man.
No worries.
Look at that for some succinct wrapping up that rambling. I must say, it's good when I pay attention.
Right here, so there it is. There's my review, the Iflight DC3, and overall, it's doing exactly what I thought it would do. It is a fun little ripper. It's in the 3-inch size, which is going to suit a lot of people. I don't have any other quads like it. It fills a niche role for some people out there. It's not going to be as crazy as a 5-inch, but a lot of people don't want that when they're flying around. They might already have a 5-inch out there. They want something like a 3-inch. It's quieter, it's less intrusive. You can fly in tight environments. It's a little bit more nimble, I guess, or agile when you come into flips and rolls. It's just a cool cruisy quad. It does suck down the juice a little bit depending on what battery you're going to be putting on here. I love the long range you get with the DJI FPV system and also the HD footage you're getting sent back. It was pretty cool being able to fly out like through the cement, what do you call it, those big pipes and that sort of stuff. Even though I did lose vision for a little second there, but it was cool. It didn't freak out or anything like that. I was able to recover. And overall, look, if you got the funds, it's definitely a solid little choice. I can see why people are saying it's like their favorite quad of the year or it's perfect buy and fly. I can see why people would feel that way. For me, I don't know if it's my favorite quad of the year, but there's definitely nothing wrong with it. People are going to enjoy it and have a lot of fun if you can afford one of these. But I'd love to know, what do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. Shout out to Albert Kim and Drone Camps RC because they made some cool videos about this. They seem to really like it, so big shout out to those boys. Fan of them. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. Go check out those other guys. And as always, happy flying. And I also like the naming structure too because I can actually pronounce this one, so thank you, Iflight.